I have to say, those angles are absolutely rubbish. Terrible angles. Peru's chances of qualifying for the World Cup have gone up in flames. Their 1-0 loss against Venezuela was the nail in the coffin. Really, I have myself to blame for expecting that this group of players would come out and be competitive against a direct rival, knowing this is a must-win game. We didn't play bad, but it's just at times we looked like we didn't even want to be there. Before I get into the match, I have two things to say. First off, how are you going to go into a must-win game starting with Renato Tapia and Pedro Aquino, two CDMs, basically leaving Andre Carrillo in the midfield to just create on his own? He's not a Cueva who can just make magic out of nothing. He needs someone, another creative player. The second thing is, how is Conmebol allowing a Chilean to referee this match? 4 countries are battling for the intercontinental playoffs. Do you want to know what countries those are? Chile, Peru, Venezuela, and Bolivia. It doesn't make sense why a Chilean referee is being put to officiate this match. He's a direct rival from both teams. And I'm not saying he did a bad refereeing job, but I do feel that first half, Peru was robbed of an opportunity to win. I'm not going to sit here and say we lost because of him, because we lost because of the players, and we have to take that accountability. Moving on into the match, we started off decent, okay, in my opinion. I was seeing those passes, those ideas kind of starting to flow. And then around the 15th minute, Carlos Zambrano gets shown a yellow card for a crazy challenge. The Venezuelans were trying so hard to provoke him, knowing that he's that type of person that is going to fall. He's going to fall right into their hands. Then in the 40th minute, Carlos Zambrano tackles the Venezuelan player Josef Martinez, and the referee blows a penalty. After he calls the penalty, the replays are shown. I have to say, those angles are absolutely rubbish. Terrible angles. I have yet to see a clear angle. If I'm not wrong, the first angle that they show is kind of right behind the goal, kind of towards the right corner flag. The positioning of the cameras for VAR was honestly a joke. How can Conmebol allow this? I just don't understand. That's mistake number 2. Moving on, Salomon Rondon steps up to take the penalty, and he puts it in the back of the net. We are down 1-0. Minutes later, Andre Carrillo is down on the right wing, crosses it in beautifully into Brian Reina, who puts it in the back of the net. Now, at first glance, I didn't see anything wrong with the goal, and this was perfect because we were just about to go into the break. Then the referee gets notified by VAR that he has to check the goal due to a handball. And yet again, what a surprise. The camera angles for the VAR replays are abysmal. The camera is placed right behind the goal, and there is no clear view of the ball hitting his hand. In such a key moment, to have such terrible camera angles, this is literally a game decider. If Peru were given that goal, they would have gone into the second half 1-1. We don't know what could have happened. We might have gone on to lose it, but we will never know now. That opportunity was thrown away. Based off of the angles that I've seen, it doesn't look like a handball. It looks like it touches him right in the shoulder. Right in the shoulder. Going into the second half, I knew that we needed to make subs really quick. First off, Carrillo. Even though he is such a quality player for us and he was the most creative out of everyone, he is not a player that can last the whole 90 minutes. And unfortunately, when you look at the bench, it just doesn't give you hope. And then as the second half progressed, You just see Peru trying to make something happen. Literally, it was just send the ball into the box, see whatever happens. My God, Marcos Lopez, I feel like instead of progressing as a footballer, he has just gone backwards. He cannot cross to save his life. Those crosses were terrible. Terrible. Those crosses looked like a player from La Liga Uno, honestly. Not from a player who plays in Europe. And Paolo, I don't know why we are still playing Paolo Guerrero for 90 minutes. The dude, a few months ago, retired from the national team. He's at a point in his career where he is one injury away, calling it quits. We don't know if next month he'll still be available. Maybe he'll just retire. I think it's time we just try another striker. I think this saying is perfect. You either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain. And I have to mention this. There was a point in the game where Carrillo was literally behind Tapia. How can our most creative player be effective if he's literally in the halfway line or near around it? Carrillo started off the game well. He started off good, of course, being the only creative outlet that we have. And then as the game progressed, instead of staying in and around the area, in and around Venezuela's goal, he just started dropping back even further and further just so he could get the ball. And we don't want him there. This is why I was saying we needed another creative midfielder to help Carrillo, to help get the ball to him. It's just frustrating. And there was a penalty appeal in the last few minutes. I didn't even see a replay of that, if I'm being honest. But the big reason why we are out of the World Cup, Agustin Lozano. He is the parasite that is infecting Peruvian football. As long as him and his people are in charge, we will never progress as a football nation. I've already been through somewhat of a dark age in the 2014 World Cup qualifiers. And I don't want to go back. We were spoiled with Gareca. We have 4 games remaining of the World Cup qualifiers. And the only thing I can say is I hope that we don't get destroyed. Let's at least finish off the qualifiers with our dignity, with our heads held high. In the easiest World Cup qualifiers of history, where 7 countries qualify, and I say 7 because the 7th will go into an intercontinental playoff, but more than likely they'll win. 7 nations, and we could not even get to that 7th place. Our next match is against Colombia, and let's just hope that we only lose by 1 goal or 2. Let me know down below, what did you guys think of the match? Arriba Peru!